Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Combat Sports UK YouTube channel. My name is Adam Tiffin and today I am joined by the former bantamweight Cage Warriors champion and, well, one of the UFC's newest prospects. It is the Don, Caolan Loughran. Caolan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, lad. Anytime.
Well, first thing I've got to start with is a little video that you posted to your Instagram not too long ago when you found out that you'd be called up to the UFC. Can you just paint a picture as to what was going through your head in that moment when your coach told you you've been signed by the UFC?
Fuck, it's hard to sum that up. That was something I've been working. I literally got the tattoo of the date of that on my neck the other night. That's just like a life goal that was achieved. Every morning, every night for over 10 years, trying to get to the UFC, trying to get that elusive contract. So just like happiness, relief, emotion, everything, just a really, really, just a big goal achieved, you know what I mean? A happy time. Telling my family and all, was telling me immediate friends, my woman and that, it was just class, absolutely class, you know?
And obviously making your debut 2nd of September in Paris, and we all saw what the atmosphere and the card was like last time the UFC went to Paris. Not a bad place to be making your debut.
Yeah, but I'm well used to it. My Cage Warriors title fight was a partisan crowd of a lot of Italian people who were booing me to the nines, you know what I mean? So I don't give a fuck. I'm also bringing like over 100 Irish myself, and then Reese has obviously got a crowd. I don't know. I'm sure he'll bring a crowd as well. So absolutely unbelievable to be on the Paris card. Last year was insane. The card itself isn't that good this year. I seen today the odds are I'm the biggest favorite on the card. I'm 100% positive I'm the best fighter on the card. So when the media gets out and they get interviewing and stuff, I'm sure I'll draw all the hype. I'll steal the show in Paris. I know that for a fact. I'll leave it with everyone talking about me. But no, Delhi get on a relatively close show that people can say over 100 people can travel to. Obviously, it's going to be like UK and European time, so there's going to be millions and millions and millions of people watching it. It'll be on every bar in fucking Europe. So now it's class, lad. It's stuff dreams, and it's a great place to start my UFC career, you know what I mean?
Are you happy that you've had that experience of fighting in front of crowds that aren't necessarily going to be in your favour before you got into the UFC? Like you said, the title fight they had, and I'm sure you've had it in other cases in your career. Is that something that you think will really benefit you going forward?
Yeah, I'm a game day player. I'll lose to guys. I put myself in bad positions in the gym. I'll lose rounds in the gym. I don't really care because when the bright lights are on, it's time to perform. Millions of people watching. I'm born for that. If I was going to break, I would have broke in Rome. Do you know what I mean? I'd have broke under Dylan Hazan's wrestling pedigree. I'd have broke under his crowd, everything. If I was going to break, I would have broke then. Everything was on the line for me then, you know what I mean? And I couldn't have been more calm. This kid I'm fighting has been fighting in Brave, and they kind of kept their like COVID format. It's basically like APAC shows across Europe. So he's literally been fighting in front of nobody. And now he's going to come with 20,000 people screaming for him, and he's got me laughing at him by the end of the cage. You know what I mean? See how he handles that. It's his first ever big weight cut. He's going down to bantamweight. He's never done that since for like years. He's doing it first time in the UFC. Big stage. I see how he handles it, but I'm very, very experienced. I see myself as like a veteran. I just get it. I get fighting it. I get the emotions of the sport. I get the highs. I get the lows. I've been doing this for a really long time, so I honestly don't care that it's the UFC. I'm not nervous. I'm not. I just feel at home already. You know what I mean?
And you mentioned your opponent name is Yanis Gamuri, 12-1, as you said, French fighter. How do you feel that you match up with him? And also, how have you felt through this training camp?
Training camp's going phenomenally. More preparation is second to none. The detail in his style, as always. It's just ahead of the game. My coach's IQ are ahead of the game. My IQ is ahead of the game. I'm a completely different level to him everywhere. Honestly, I think he's a bum. I think if for UFC levels, I think he's the lowest you're gonna get. And if I can't beat him, I'm a bum. That's the way I see it. Aljamain Sterling would submit him quick. Sean would pepper him up. Sean would KO him. Corey would KO him. So if I can't do that, then I'm not the level I think I am. But of course, everyone can get caught. But like if this is a close back and forth, not then I'd be hugely disappointed. I am the biggest favorite on the card with the bookies today, and I think it's with good reason. Do you know what I mean? They don't give him a chance. So I think I'm gonna absolutely. I've been saying 7-8 minutes, but I've been watching him lately, and I do think I'm gonna stop him in a round. I do honestly believe that I'm gonna go and stop him in one round.
Well, now he made it to the UFC, but obviously previously you weren't. There wasn't any prior contact after your title fight saying, "Oh, we're looking at you for the UFC," was there?
What's that? Sorry.
So there wasn't any contact from the UFC before your title fight saying, "Oh, if you win, we're looking at you." Obviously, that video looked like a massive surprise to you.
It was a surprise, but I knew there was talks ongoing, but I just didn't think it was like coming. You know what I mean? I had no idea. I thought maybe it was gonna be in the contender series, but I know Colin caught me off guard now.
Well, now that you've got that move up to the UFC, plans will probably change because I'd assume with Cage Warriors, there's a lot of fights potentially there for you in Cage Warriors if you wanted to defend your belt and cement that legacy. Was that part of the plan if there wasn't that call coming?
But nah, I didn't give a fuck about one fighter in Cage Wars. My whole reason for Cage Wars was to get to the UFC. They serve a purpose and they give me a platform to create a lot of hype around my name to where I can come in and be the biggest favorite in the card in the UFC. You know what I mean? They are the proven path to get to the UFC. You know what I mean? Financially and stuff, you're going to struggle, but to any young fighter coming up, I absolutely recommend doing it that way. I was in Cage Wars for 13 months. Literally ran through the division, so I didn't give a fuck about defending the Cage Wars title. I got that belt, and as soon as the UFC come, that's where Caolan Loughran should be fighting. So I always see myself fighting. I turned down offers from PFL this year. Yeah, Combache tried to sign me a few years ago. It was Cage Wars to the UFC, and that's what I've done. Do you know what I mean? That was it. It was just get the belt and bounce as soon as possible. So no in and out, thank God. But I'm very thankful to Cage Wars and what they've done for my career. You know what I mean? I'll never forget it, and I'll keep going under the shows and stuff when I can. But no, I'm a UFC level fighter. I genuinely believe in the best bantamweight in the world right now, so I didn't want to be sticking about Cage Wars much longer. You know.
Well, speaking of the bantamweight divisions, you said you don't really care for that Cage Warriors bantamweight division now, but you're now part of that bantamweight division in the UFC, and it is one of the most stacked ones in the UFC.
Yes.
To say so myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you say that you think that you're well within your rights to say you think you're the best bantamweight on the planet. Do you see your rise to that title being more of a slower one, like a more methodical one, like Tom Aspinall did, who sort of took his time? Or do you see yourself just trying to rocket up the rankings as quick as possible? I'm the best fighter in the world. Get me that title as soon as possible.
Well, I'm young and healthy now, but I feel like I've got too much in me for these guys. Like maybe they'll take rounds off me. They're gonna all hit me. They could all submit me, but I just think I'm gonna finish every one of them. I think I've got too much in me. I'm too strong. I'm too mentally smart. I'm too powerful. I just think I'm gonna get you. You're all gonna get tired. I'm gonna catch you. I'm very confident that I can take them all out. Even if I'm 4 rounds down, get into the fifth, I think I can. I'm 100% positive I can take any of them out. I know the sun's gonna rise tomorrow. I've no doubt in my mind. But I think they'll probably try to go slow. Like they're good with prospects and guys. I mean they're the best at what they do. So they'll probably not try to push me up too soon. But I'm not trying to avoid wrestlers. I'm not trying to avoid hard fights by any stretch of the imagination. I'm in with the best, the hardest men in the world, the best fighters in the world, and that excites me. That excites me more than fame. That excites me more than money. That excites me more than anything. But what I want is the big nights, the big high-profile fights. The guys like Sean O'Malley, Cody Garbrandt, all these guys on the way up. I want these big names. That's what I'm here for. I fucking love the idea of it. You know what I mean?
And they've got the big title fight coming up this weekend. Just a quick one, how do you see that playing out?
I see Aljo winning. God's honest truth. It would be good for the division if Sean gets it done. It would be because I like him. I think he's funny and he brings a lot of eyes and he's a dangerous man. He's got a big couple of big shots. He's an unorthodox spins. He's good with his shot selection. He's a good fighter. And he obviously say he's famous as fuck. He brings a lot of eyes to the division. So it'd be good if he could win. I just don't think he will. I don't think that he beat Purian at all. I rewatched it yesterday. I think there's a good argument that Peter won every round, but you could give Sean one, but definitely don't see him giving two. I definitely think he lost that fight. And positions that Piotr was fit to hit. If Aljo hits, you usually don't get away. He usually advanced passes guard, advanced position, just does the basics like at an elite level. And I do see him finishing Sean, to be honest. Maybe he comes through a big shot, wobbles him. Maybe it struggles to get him down because Sean's feet are very fast. Just he's like stutter steps or he angles out against the cage. And Aljo's got quite slow feet, so he could struggle to get him down early. But eventually, I think he'll get a hold of him. Maybe even catch a kick and advance position, get to the back. And I could see him either TKO on a rear naked choking Sean. I can't see him surviving 25 minutes without him hitting one of them positions and finishing him, you know?
Mm-hmm. We are now part of the UFC and part of this new wave of Irish MMA fighters that are in the UFC. It must be a really pleasing feeling for you because I'm sure you grew up and were massively inspired by Conor McGregor, obviously, and now you and others who are in the UFC are now carrying that torch on, inspiring the next generation. That must be quite a nice feeling.
Conor McGregor, Neil Seary, Norman Park, Paul Rebben. I watched all these guys. Be that guy is so cool. It's literally I'm the guy. I'm about to become the guy I've dreamt of becoming. When I go home now and see kids, it's like fucking it's class. I absolutely love it. And I haven't even actually debuted yet. I'm really just going off a Cage Wars title and being signed on social media. So after I start getting my Cage Wars run together, it's gonna blow up in Ireland. I know that. I'm mature enough in my life for that to happen now and not affect me. I don't care about fame, don't care about anything, but it's fucking deadly. And if one Irish lad can watch me in Dublin the way I watched McGregor against Brandao and made this my dream, then I've done what I was put here to do. I mean, if I can get one guy inspired from my area, that'll be cool for me. You know what I mean? It's fucking sick. And UFC Dublin's gonna happen next year, 1,000,000%. And I want a big fucking name on that card. You know what I mean?
Was that a big aspiration for you joining the UFC? Because it's been a long time since the UFC's been in Dublin, been in Ireland at all. So was that a big aspiration for you to be part of that group that says you can't not bring the UFC back to Ireland?
All day a happy man. If I fight in UFC Dublin, like I don't really give a fuck. Like I've done a lot of, I've achieved really everything I've said I could achieve so far in MMA. Of course, I want the belt, but if I fight in UFC Dublin, I get 2 fights this year. I expect to go in here and dust Giannis Gamora straight through him, show him on a completely different level and kill him early, 1 or 2 rounds through him. And then I want to go again on the Vegas, this December Vegas pay-per-view. Obviously, just talking McGregor, but I don't know way it works for you, Salah. That would be class. Sean O'Malley saying that he wants on that. So whoever it is, I don't give a fuck who it is. I want to get in the December pay-per-view. Be 2-0 in the end of this year in the UFC, which is more than I said at the start of this year. I had a goal of winning the Cage Wars title, probably defending, I thought, and then being 1-0 in the UFC. That's my year goal. I now expect to be 2-0 in the UFC. So that could be a lot of hype around my name, and I could get a big name then early to mid next year in Dublin. Do you know what I mean? That would be my goal, to be 2-0 now. 2, obviously bonuses would be class, but 2 finishes. Big name in the bantamweight division early. And then a big name in Dublin that I could get, you know what I mean? But or have myself as a big name already in the bantam division. I could fight somebody with a bit of a name too in Dublin. That's a goal I can't even. That would be unbelievable to be part of that, because I remember being in school when McGregor fought Brandao and I couldn't get a ticket. I couldn't afford a ticket to him at the UFC Dublin that time. But of course I was watching at home and I still remember it like it was yesterday. That would be fucking lethal, lad, you know what I mean?
And you mentioned before, and it's evident whenever you fight, you bring a big contingent of fans with you. If you were
Yeah.
to pitch Dana, Sean Shelby, a UFC Dublin event, would you just show them the videos of the fans you brought to Ireland, Reese, the fans he brings, Connor, the fans he brings to Vegas? That must be a compelling pitch.
Oh, it sells itself, lad. I'm telling you, I'm gonna paint Vegas green. Give me 1, 2 fights in the UFC. I'm gonna blow up. Telling you, I'm gonna bring the way McGregor used to bring Irish contingents across. Like if I really kind of wish I had been on the Boston card this weekend, because a lot of Irish people are on J1s out there at the minute, and they keep mashing. And even months ago, they were mashing me. There's a chance you could be on the Boston card. So I think that's my future absolutely. Uh, and of course, there's no crowd like an Irish crowd. It's like not even a conversation. They're obviously the best in the world. You know what I mean? So I used to Dublin's happening, lads. I can't wait for it. You know what I mean?
Well, Caolan, thanks a lot for joining us. On behalf of everyone at Combat Sports UK, wish you the best of luck in September.
Thank you very much, brother. Anytime.
And for any of you who are wanting to watch the fight, 2nd of September, Caolan takes on Yanis Gamori at UFC Paris. If you want to keep up to date with any of the sporting news events, combat sports news, or any interviews like this, check out our YouTube channel, Combat Sports UK on Twitter, or combatsportsuk.co.uk for our website.